Challenge. So we welcome you back to Lear's match number two of the doubleheader held here today. Earlier, we saw a comprehensive victory for the St. Vincent and the Grenadines police team, maintaining their unbeaten run in the tournament and subjecting the host Barbados, one of the favorites, I would believe, to their second successive defeat. What we are about to witness is a clash between Grenada and the Cayman Islands. Grenada with a win, the Cayman Islands yet to get in to the winners enclosure. And we have already seen the toss of the coin. The Grenadians won the toss and they have elected to field. Umpires Candice Laborde and Dave Thompson already in the middle with the players, the fielders of the Grenada side, and the opening pair for the Cayman Islands. And again, the excellent conditions on hand here at Lear's. A lovely crowd has grown too. I must say the crowd has continued to grow, and it really is a popular move, I would have to say, to bring some of the games out to the non-traditional areas, the non-traditional grounds in Barbados, and this is testament to bringing the games, bringing the game into the communities, and so far a very, very good turnout, a favorable turnout here for Lears. The conditions have been good, and I have with me Joel Manning, who will be partnering me for this this early part of the Cayman Islands innings. I'm still waiting for the scorecard to tell me the opening pair for the islands, although I'm seeing, but no, I wouldn't want to hazard that guess. But Joel, after this morning's encounter, especially the devastating work of the Vincentians, what can we look forward to here?
Good afternoon, Wayne. Good afternoon to all of our viewers out there across the Caribbean and across the world. What can I tell you about this contest? It's certainly going to be exciting. It's shaping up for another cracker here at Lears.
First ball is one, rising from a good length and fending it away through the vacant gully area. Had there been a man in that gully, he would have been in with a shout for a chance. So right on target, that first delivery from the northern end. And again, once again, Joel, we cannot help saying it often enough. Good lift, good carry, from especially with the bowlers coming from this northern end.
Just taking a little bit of a note out there. The openers, or at least one of them, in the form of Donica Sargent, opting to go without a helmet.
Jamil Buchanan is the other one. And the bowler being Nicholas Redhead, driven into the covers. And they will come back for a couple of runs. A left-handed batter is Buchanan, getting a pitched up delivery. Really impressed with the crowd though, Joel. Having a look outside during the period between matches, and was very pleasantly surprised to see.
Well, a lot of them are certainly taking the drive to come towards Lears to take in this regional police cricket tournament.
As this delivery is outside the all stump, another quickish delivery. The right arm bowler across the left-hander and into the gloves. The wicketkeeper taking the ball up towards the shoulders. We look at a view of the pavilion area in front of us.
Yeah, just enjoying a sumptuous lunch. It was one who had to partake in the food here on offer at Lears, and I must say it was a belly full and delightful. Well, and yes, all set again for the action.
Well, yes, of course. That has been one of the features of the tournament, Joel, if you can say that. The very tasty offerings. As this delivery is again outside the off stump, batsman tentatively jabbing at that delivery. I think he would have made a move to pull the bat inside the line at the last moment. Don't know if I can give him the benefit of the doubt of having succeeded rather than being beaten outside the off stump. But good stuff here coming from Redhead. Tall young man, bowling right arm, is looking to work up a good turn of pace. He's got a slip on the gully in place, a third man, a backward point, a cover and a mid-off. Then there's a long leg, a man at square leg and a mid-on. This one is outside the off stump. This one not inducing the batsman into a shot and being able to watch it through to the keeper, taking it a bit low down on that occasion. The slight inconsistency in the bounce, but that one was pitched offline, quite away outside the off stump. So it is 3 for no loss. Donico Sargent and Jamil Buchanan. Both these teams would want to add, well, the Grenadiers would want to add to the one win they have had as the jostle for semi-final places. Continues short outside the off stump, another quick delivery. Having a dart at it is the left-hander looking to guide it away. The ball passed through to the wicket-keeper. The end of an impressive first over from Nicholas Redhead, 3 without loss.
That's certainly a very impressive start from him. I had a chance to see him down at Weymouth yesterday versus Barbados. Both 3 overs on the trot, and he enjoyed the surface down there. I do think, though, that he would enjoy the one here at Lears just a bit better. The pace is a bit more in this surface in that first over. Just going for 3 from him, so a good start.
Looking at the Cayman Islands side, Sargent and Buchanan, Brian Corbin, the captain, local player, Adrian Thomas, Greg Shepard, Nigel Strout, Nkrumah Morgan, Pearson Best, also well known in these parts. Ravindra Prasad, who is the guest player, Servin Charles and Paul Manning, while the 11 for the Grenada side, Heron Campbell, Nikozai St. Hilaire, Josh Noel, Josh Thomas, Lyndon Lawrence, Amikil Dubisset, Reynold Charles, Ricardo Murray, Sean Del Regis, Johan Jeremiah, Nicholas Redhead, Darrell Cyrus, Samuel Charles, and Roland Cato. Quite familiar name too, as the new bowler is going to be Amikil Dubisset, right arm from the southern end, coming up that slope. Joel, where I'm sure a number of the faster bowlers will find it quite challenging.
Will require a bit of effort to get over that hill, but made light work of it on that particular occasion, opting to go short with the first delivery.
Dewey set his right arm over the wicket with one slip in place. And covering up is the batsman Sargent, squaring up somewhat to Warner, pitching down just around the off-stump line and pushed up into the cover. So there's a slip. He's got a third man and looking to see where the other fielder outside of the circle may be. Well, yes, there is also a man at long leg on the fine leg boundary. So those are the 2 fielders allowed outside. Short delivery rising up towards the throat, and Sargent having to take defensive measures, getting the bat high up, taking it somewhere on the glove, I believe, or high on the handle, the ball dropping away into the onside. So, Joel, I'm sure this is very encouraging for the Cayman Islands, well, in this case, Amikil Dubisset. Let's see how he follows that one up. Was another short delivery, and this time the batsman looking to work it away towards the third man area. But do I detect a slight backing away, slightly moving away out of the line of the delivery, Joel?
He's certainly not here to face much pace, you might say. I did mention the fact that he's out there without the helmet. I certainly expected some short stuff from the fast bowlers out there, and they've responded in like manner.
Interesting, Joel. We'll get back to that. This one he's getting contact with and guiding it away down through the gully to third man. Will only be able to get one, the return on the bounce to the keeper. But that brings us to the end of the... No, it's just a matter of umpire Thompson changing sides because of the left-handed batter. But Joel, you know, it may be a strange sight for you to see a batsman batting without a helmet against fast bowling. Those of my vintage would tell you that is all we knew. No matter how fast the bowling would have been, there were no helmets. Let's say back in the day. This delivery is outside the off stump. Again, the batsman holding his ground on the leg stump and then just thrusting the bat, not making contact, through to the keeper. 2 overs gone, 4 without loss. The Cayman Islands very happy with how things have gone in the opening overs.
Yeah, certainly been a very good start from a very good quiet start, you would have to say, from the Grenada bowlers. They were able to peg back Barbados yesterday and doing the same here as a Cayman. Still early days, still early times. As you mentioned, in a time before mine, there were no helmets. But I must say, with technology here, it might be advisable, especially on this surface, the way I have seen the ball kick. He's a policeman and not a paramedic, and as such, just might want to, wear the apparatus.
Not that I disagree with you. I'm just bringing you the facts as they are, or as they were. Imagine facing up to the likes of Malcolm Marshall and Joel Garner and a plethora of fast bowlers that emanated out of Barbados. Here is another fast bowler. He's not from Barbados, but he's from Grenada and pushed away into the outside for a quick single. But Joel, I come from an era when there was a fast bowler in every gap in Barbados. So and every gap had a team. Well, but changing times, and as you say, the advent of technology has brought a lot of advantages, a lot of benefits. We must remain thankful for them. Redhead. Collect delivery on the body, pushed away into the onside. Having to hurry into that shot was Buchanan.
Yeah, I must say that neither of the two look quite comfortable to the pace here. Not suggesting that they straight out onto that front foot, but it would appear as if they're camping on the back foot, just looking to work it around at the moment.
Well, very satisfied. The Grenadians managing to keep it quiet, even if they haven't been able to prize out one of the wickets so far. And pitching up and driving outside the off stump is Redhead on that time. For once, as you mentioned, venturing onto the front foot. And again, well away from the ball. Keeper taking it low down. So it's almost as if we are waiting here in anticipation for something to break loose. Whether it be the batters getting the ball away or the bowlers being able to penetrate. But so far, not a lot of bat and ball contact. A lot of balls traveling through to the keeper unscathed. One quick delivery again, and here is the left-handed Buchanan pulling the head back as he played that one down in front of him on the offside of the pitch.
Well, in terms of starts, it is a better start for Cayman. They were not for one when they played versus Barbados in their previous encounter, and then ended up being 8 for 2. So they would hope that this opening pair could get them off to a decent start, a good partnership.
This delivery is again through to the keeper. So they haven't been making a lot of contact with bat on ball, but they have been able to survive so far. And we continue to be impressed with some of the faster bowling we've seen so far today. First encounter, the Vincentian fast bowlers really went to work.
You probably just have to think that maybe full and straight at the stumps might produce the result that they're looking for.
Well, we've seen everything except that. As this one is pushed into the offside, they go for a single and get it quite easily. The fielder not able to pick it up cleanly. So finally, I almost said finally some rotation in the strike, but actually Buchanan is going to retain the strike when the new over starts, because that is the end of the third over, and the Cayman Islands invited to bat 6 for no loss.
Yeah, no fireworks just yet, but no wickets either, and Cayman, I believe, can be happy with that. As I mentioned, hasn't necessarily been the best of starts for them with the bat in previous innings. So not having lost a wicket in the opening 3 overs is certainly good from them.
Well, it will be Dubisset, Amical Dubisset. Mahogany trees behind him. Striking the batsman on the pad, stifle the peel for leg before wicket. This ball runs into the offside.
They're probably pitching outside leg on that particular occasion.
So again, batsman unable to get bat onto ball. This continues to be a quiet start in front of a growing crowd. Outside the off stump, pushing and somewhat undecided is the batsman Buchanan. One looking to play at the ball and then uncertain of whether he really wanted to play, pulling the bat inside the line. Again, quite late, so it has been all the Grenadians in the 2 overs, well, the 3 overs and 2 balls that we have seen so far. Again, outside the off stump, the right arm bowler angling the ball across Buchanan, and definitely, as I mentioned, camping out on that leg stump, not really getting across his wicket, not getting those feet moving to get in behind the line of the ball, or at least be able to make contact with it.
You're talking about getting in line with the ball, but I don't think that either batter wants to do just that. They're giving the pace on offer at the moment.
Batsman and ball going in completely different directions. Buchanan moves in. Again, here we see a similar thing. Outside the off stump, looking to dab it away through the, I guess, between the slip and the gully area. And ball going, under the under edge into the gloves of the keeper. So the power play overs. This would definitely have to be one of the quieter power plays that we have seen all tournament. This time he's managing to get this one pushed up into the mid-off area. The fielder there is right back on the edge of the circle, and he comes in to field. And again, we have that rotation of the strike this time. So the left-handed Buchanan goes to the non-striker's end, and Sargent, Donico Sargent, the right-hander, comes on strike. 7 without loss. 1 delivery left in the 4th over. Edge dropping in front of the man at first step and going through his legs. Well fielded by the man coming around from the 3rd man position, the deep 3rd man position, and keeping the scoring down to 2. So 2 runs at the end of the 4th over brings the Cayman to 9 without loss, but so far not being able to really make much use of the restrictions inside the power play. And as I said earlier, definitely one of the quieter, most economical power plays spells so far. Still got 2 overs to go.
They certainly haven't made good use of the power play at the moment. Haven't even looked as if they would make good use of it, because we've not really seen a shot in anger at the moment. But like I mentioned, no wickets down for them. So I guess when you look at it from that perspective,
that is a positive. Here comes Redhead, striding in from the north. Outside the off stump. I think I can record that and just press play every other delivery. Outside the off stump, through to the keeper without any contact. 9 without loss. It's almost like a boxing match, Joel, where the early rounds, the 2 opponents just sparring with each other, and nobody really looking to take a significant advantage in the early stages. Outside the off stump, through to the keeper, press play. Again, 9 without loss, but I think the bowling a bit too much at this moment, but as we mentioned, it'll be interesting to see if they can get one directed onto the stumps. What would be the result? Because the Grenadian bowlers have done everything except find the wicket with a straight delivery. This time he's actually essaying a drive. The left-handed Buchanan, the ball bouncing before getting through to wicket keeper. And the not being able to take it cleanly, the ball parried down to third man, and an extra comes up, the first extra of the innings, a bye. So quite welcome that would be the score going into double figures now, 10 without loss. But we've seen a couple of balls die outside the off stump to the left-hander. I think I'm just wondering if that may be something to keep an eye out for. A short delivery and goes ducking. Does Sargent? I don't think he knew a lot about that at all. Wicked bouncer from a redhead ducking, and the batsman on the front foot there. He was throwing himself all over the place. The bat coming up much too late. The head trying to get under that delivery.
Well, there's a series called Too Hot to Handle, and I believe that this is just that. Short, sharp, and rising, and probably just giving maybe a bit of a haircut to Sargent.
Brave man, Sargent, still without a helmet. Another short delivery, looking for a big swing, and missing and through to the keeper. This is getting interesting.
You say interesting, I say dangerous.
Yeah, it gets getting frightening. I should have said. Because that one was a short delivery. There he was swinging wildly. I don't think he knew a lot about that delivery. Through to the keeper, so buoyed by those previous two deliveries, Redhead charging in from the top of his mark. Delivery is wide of the off stump, looking to guide it away to third man is Sargent. Doesn't make contact through to the keeper. Redhead finishes his third over. Only 5 runs from those 3 overs. Cayman Islands after 5 are 5 without loss.
Well, the sun is out in all of its glory here at Lears. It's certainly interesting times, testing times for the Cayman Islands. Yet to really fire this encounter. We've seen some fiery stuff though, especially from the hand of Nicholas Redhead. He's certainly worked up a head of steam here, and they've pegged him back at the start. 10 without loss after 5. The crowd on hand certainly entertained at the moment. Do be set. He's in again. And this time they find the edge, and that is wicket number 1 in the bag. Well, after many plays and misses outside of the off stump, finally they get a piece of that bat. They're happy. Their supporters are happy. And the first one goes down for the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, and Buchanan gone. I mean, it never really suggested permanence, really. I mean, when you look at this, they've been undone by some very good bowling. And that ball actually went over the top of the off stump. The edge was found, the catch taken. And in the end, it's a wicket that was on the card. But I'll make the point, though, that I'm quite happy with the pitch here at Lears. It's really a good pitch for cricket. It's got something for the bowlers. If you can bat, you can make runs, and I've seen a lot of bounce on this pitch.
Yeah, there's certainly been a lot of bounce on off and runs, as you mentioned. 270 put on the board by SVG yesterday. They in fact played Barbados this morning and chased down the runs quite comfortably, just outside of 11 overs. I believe they chased those runs down in 10.4 to get that 127. So it tells you that there are runs in this service. But the Cayman Islands, they're yet to get many of those. Well, this one goes up. Catches the cry, but is avoided by the fielder. Opting not to go for it there. Opting for the safer route. Somewhat to the disappointment of those here supporting Grenada.
Well, this is Pearson Best, that I know very well. Would have played for my club, St. Catharines, for many years, and he's accustomed to fast bowling. I remember Pearson Best against Patterson Thompson on the lawn at Bank Hall a couple years ago. He didn't quite see the ball. He was hit flush on the helmet with a very quick delivery. But he likes fast bowling, but of course that's when he was young.
Wicket number 2. Dubiset, he strikes again.
He does. I mean, this is good bowling. And, you know, Sargent never really wanted to get behind the ball. And Redhead started things by being aggressive. This is what has really gone out of West Indies cricket, that aggression. And I'm happy to see it, you know, displayed at this level. I mean, when you look at this, look at the batsman to a ball which is coming back at him, but tailing away towards the leg side. The edge from the catch taken. But that is as a result of the aggression that was displayed earlier. So 11 for 2, and the Cayman Islands really struggling, as they have been in this entire competition. So when you look at the teams that we've seen on offer so far, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, police force looking very strong. Grenada, they look good as well. And to a less extent, Barbados. So you get the feeling that those will be the teams that could be looking for the coup de grace, but we shall see. 11 for 2, and we've seen a situation where the Cayman Islands are under pressure from the get-go here. Aggression from Redhead, and certainly starting things with some pretty good deliveries. They do well, I would imagine, to get to 75 here. That's my prediction. I may be wrong.
Well, certainly under pressure. Some batting to come. And outstrides at number 4, Paul Manning. Oh, he faces the music as well. This should probably be 2 runs.
Yeah, well, Pearson Best can get back for the second. He's put on quite a bit of weight the last time I saw him. And Joel, is that guy related to you? He's Manning. The name spelled the same way?
It's spelled the same way, but of no relation. But in terms of holding up the Manning name, I do hope that he scores some runs here today. I'm going to do my job here with the mic, and I hope he does his with the bat.
Yep. So Joel Manning and Paul Manning.
Probably an inside edge onto that one.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that both teams that have played here, first of all, this morning, the Grenada team, you know, certainly doing what happened this morning with a pitch that has offered some pace, and they've gone to the pace early. We've not seen spin introduced simply because of the conditions. St. Vincent and the Grenadines did it early this morning and put Barbados on the back foot.
The fast bowlers certainly have been successful, and that trend has continued. The end of 6, the end of the power play, 13 for 2.
Yeah, 13 for 2. Really big trouble for the Cayman Islands. The other thing, too, is that I just suspect that Barbados have been a little bit surprised by what they've seen in this competition so far from their main opponents, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and, of course, Grenada. They've got good cricketers, and I expect the semi-finals to be very, very interesting, and the finals as well. And we encourage you to continue to watch the stream. It's on YouTube. And, of course, we also encourage you to come to the venues to watch the game as well. Lears is nice. You know, you're away from traffic, just about 10, 15 minutes outside the nation's capital. Barbados are playing here tomorrow, am I correct? Against Antigua and Barbuda, a game that they would certainly want to win. And should win. And must win.
Some more sharp stuff. Oh, my goodness. Fire at Lears, fire in Barbados.
Yeah, Pearson Best, and I'm sure that my good friend would have played with him, Wayne Holder. Was he in your time, Pearson Best? Yeah. He loves to hook and pull. Doesn't always get it right. But he's a shotgun in the day. And actually, I remember him playing for St. Catharines and doing very well on wet pitches. He really enjoyed that. Always a good contest. Big heart.
Steered beautifully down towards third man. The runs haven't been coming, so they'll be hoping that they can rotate the strike. The power play is done, but still keeping things relatively tight in terms of just keeping two men outside of the circle.
He's also risen through the ranks. I mean, very well in terms of the police force. I think he's an inspector, I was told. So he's not a constable, he's an inspector. So he's senior. Pearson Best, man from St. Philip's South. I think it's the St. Martin's area. I just have to double check that, but I know he's a man from the South.
Doesn't get much onto that one, but it's been the story of the Caymans at the moment.
Of course, a lot of our, well, I mean, they left here and a lot of them went to Cayman. Started a long time ago in the 40s and the 50s, and they've, you know, done a lot of work there. Some of them are teachers. A lot of them are policemen. They've left Barbados, and they've done pretty well. A lot of them go to the BVI as well.
Redhead into his final over, bowling 4 on the trot here.
Of course, fellow commentator Philip Hackett went to Cayman, and they said he was a big leg spinner. Didn't turn the ball a lot, I understand, and couldn't bowl the googly. That's what Wayne Holder told me. Now we see who he was bowled against. Hello, Philip Hackett. Yes, he was one of those. He went to Cayman and was a teacher there for some time. I think Roger Blades as well. The late Roger Blades would have gone there as a policeman.
That one down the leg side. Comes off the bat. So another run to the total. 15 for 2 now, just one delivery left in the 7th over.
And of course, Brian Corbin, who would have represented police for several years, is now in Cayman as a police constable, hoping to become an inspector like Pearson Best. He's a specialist lie detector, so I got to be careful what I say. Eh?
And that looks to be the first boundary of the innings, and that was a sumptuous shot, you would have to say.
And it was from Pearson Best. That is the Pearson Best that we know. I know that they're logged on in the St. Catherine's chat. They put the link in the chat, and they're hoping that Pearson Best can live up to his name.
Yeah, certainly a lovely shot there. Short and wide at the off step. Got into position quite nicely and slapped that one beautifully over point. You could watch that one again.
Yeah, I think he's hoping that the spin will come on soon, but given what we've seen of this pitch where it has been generous to the fast bowlers, I rather suspect that we're going to have a lot of pace. And that ball was outside the off stump, a bit wide, and he latched onto that and played it. Lovely shot down to backward square for 4. So, 19 for 2.
Dubisset has picked up 2 for 7 from his 3. He's now going to bowl his final over. So the opening bowlers going straight through their spell. A change of bat. Will the change of bat bring a change of fortunes for them?
Of course, there's also tremendous interest in the football going on in England. My side, Man United, playing today against a tricky Brentford, and West Ham up against Newcastle. Those games start at 3 o'clock. Man United in the last 3 matches only able to pick up 1 point. What's going on there, sir? Mr. Ten Hag?
The first signs of variation from Dubisset, and it produces another dot ball in this innings.
Yes, he was expecting a much quicker delivery. He was instinctively on the back foot and played a slow ball off the back foot. The ball went by to be taken by the keeper. Of course, the Arsenal fans must be very happy. Are you an Arsenal man, Joel?
Nope.
Are you a football man?
I watch, I don't necessarily support.
You support the Bajan Rockets. Used to be called that one time.
Camping on the back foot, and it produces a single.
Yeah, I think Pearson has got to be a bit worried about the number of singles he's taken. Doesn't look as fit as he used to be when he played for St. Catharines. He's actually got ample girth now. But has always been a good striker of the ball. Saw him in a contest against Dale Elcock at the Carlton ground a couple of years ago. What a contest it was.
Good take by the keeper. Probably just getting a bit of glove heading down that leg side. They've certainly been on the mark here in Grenada this afternoon. Look, a very good side. A side that could vie for the opportunity to be at Kensington come Easter Monday.
It'd be interesting to get your assessment, Joel, of what you've seen so far in the competition, the big boys in this competition.
Hoiked away, and there's going to be a chase on for the man at mid-wicket. But I do believe he will lose the battle, and that's another boundary there for the Cayman Islands. They would like that, and they would hope for many more.
Yeah, indeed. And he's always been up to the contest and the fight in relation to short bowling, Pearson Best. I said I remember him against Patterson Thompson at Bank Hall and against Dale Elcock at the Carlton Club. That was hit short on the back foot, pulling it through mid-wicket, and it raced out to the boundary for 4.
It just looks as if the more time you spend out there, probably the easier things get for you.
And that was played pretty well.
Thought for a moment there may be a chance of a runabout safely home in the end. So this pair taking the score along nicely for Cayman, getting some momentum into the innings.
Plenty of room here at the Layers ground. It's one of these grounds that, of course, that may be a Sunday, some T20 cricket. You know, there's these lovely grounds you've got in Barbados that you certainly want to enjoy being here. And a pretty good pitch as well. Groundsman Mr. Newsom was behind me, and he said that he would love to take this pitch to Kensington Oval. So, we got a situation where 8 gone. The Caymans are struggling. They're under pressure and feeling the squeeze. They're 26 for 2.
Yeah, this Layers ground certainly makes for a nice little picnic atmosphere for the family. So if you're watching at home and want to make your way down, do come and enjoy. Do come and join us. Many are here already. There's some trees under which you can shade and shelter and take in some fantastic action. We're into day number 4 of the Regional Police Cricket Tournament, and we've been treated to some fantastic cricket so far. I mentioned the fact a little bit earlier. We went down to a super over yesterday, first super over of the competition. And if anything, or rather if that was anything to judge by, it's going to be even better as things go on.
So we're going to have another change. Josh Thomas, who's had the experience of playing for the Windwards, will come into the attack now. So you've had Redhead, 4 overs, 1 been done for 11. And I thought he bowled very well. And as I said earlier, the fact that the pitch has got something for the fast bowlers, you may not see a lot of spin today from the Grenadians. Looking very fit indeed as well. And one of the things about this competition is that we've got some pretty young cricketers and some fit cricketers as well. Fitness is going to be of great importance as we come down the business end of this competition. Guys are playing, you know, every day. And of course, you'll be happy to get a day off. So the action continues tomorrow, then on Friday, and then, of course, the semi-finals on Saturday. No cricket on Sunday to go to church. On Sunday, go to St. Catherine's Anglican Church. And then the big finals at the region's Mecca. That is on April the 10th. We look forward to that. Here's Thomas.
And he continues where Redhead left off. Some sharp, short stuff from him as well. Still some batting to come. Brian Corbin pushed himself down the order. He actually opened the batting before this. Worked away nicely into some space. Collects a comfortable 2. Having to throw against the wind. That wind factor is something that will come into play as well here. As we saw in that first match with Barbados. A lot of them opting to hit into what we call the fan and perishing as a result. But coming down towards the pavilion end, the leg side for the right-handed batters at the moment. Certainly produced a lot of runs. Some fabulous cricket, you would have to say. The boundaries aren't coming, but they've been rotating strike, and I mentioned the fact that this pair have certainly started to give the innings some momentum, allowing those to come to have a bit of a base from which they could swing at. I talked about Brian Corbin, there's Ravindra Prasad as well. Some big hitters still in that side to come for Cayman Islands.
Yeah, but Cayman are getting it wrong. Prasad has got about early in the side. I mean, we saw it in the first match. He's got about early in the side. Just been told that the next 3 to come, Corbin, Thomas, and Shepard, all former Barbados police officers. And of course, Prasad is their guest player. Someone needs to tell the management that he can't bat this low.
That should be signaled a wide, and in fact, 5 wides as well. Oh, signaled a no ball by the umpire.
But look at the pace the bumps generated on that. That reminded me of the old Kensington pitch with Mikey Holden and Andy Roberts bowling. Very sharp at Kensington. This pitch has got a lot of bumps. Take a bow, Mr. Newsom. You need to tell the guys at Kensington Oval how to prepare a pitch with pace and bumps, my friend.
So a free hit on offer. The first free hit of the innings. Can they capitalize on it? 35 for 2. Glorious goodness. Yes, they can capitalize.
Well done, Pearson Best. Certainly knows a thing or two about batting. Seen him for several years, playing for St. Catharines. Always a battler, always a fighter. And look at Pearson Best. Right across the line, dragging it from just on the off stump through that mid-on area, down to long on for 4. So welcome boundary. Decent crowd is gathered here as well. I like Lears. Have you been to Lears before?
Yeah, I was trying to ask myself that question earlier. I don't believe I have.
So the answer is no. That's going to be called a wide.
Yeah, just getting it offline ever since.
Well, they play here, Mr. Newsom, you play the intermediate? Yeah, intermediate and second division, and the season starts on April the 15th. I understand that the fixtures are out now. Well, we made a big call on Mason and Guest last night for the fixtures to come out. And, they're with us a bit late, but nevertheless, they're out. Thanks to Mr. Wendell Coppin. Spoke to him moments ago.
We thought he was leaving it. He gets a nice edge on it, in fact. And that also takes it to the boundary. A bit crafty there from Pearson Best. The end of over number 9, 43 for 2.
Yes, well, Pearson Best has gone to 19 from 10 balls, 4 fours. And this is a good partnership so far. I just got the feeling he was trying to maybe leave that, and involuntarily the ball hit the top of the bat and went fine down to third man, and he got 4. So every run is important.
In fact, on that replay, I actually told myself I was maybe looking a little bit deliberate in terms of his shot played, letting that ball come to him and playing it quite lately. There's no man at slip, no man at gully, so no real danger. And that got it fine enough that the man at third man couldn't get around. Takes the score up to 43 for 2.
And as we start over number 10, the first sign of spin, I think. Yeah, we're going to have some spin. So given the nature of the pitch where the fast bowlers have done well, there's been a delay in the entry of the spinners. We've got the first coming into the attack. Now it's Daryl Cyrus.
Yeah, Cyrus, in fact, was the guy who bowled the super over versus Barbados, restricting them to that 7 for 1 in the super over. Bowls quite flat and fast, especially at the start of his spell. Looks to get into a nice little rhythm, does Cyrus.
Yes, he really bowled that super over well, with good in tossing the ball up and being hit all over the place. Didn't get his length right at all.
Can't get anything onto that one. Slowed up a bit, takes the outer half of the bat. A good start by Cyrus so far, keeping things quiet, keeping the pressure on. Comfortable single. So the breeze continues to blow here quite beautifully at Lears. You get the feeling that things are setting up nicely after losing those early 2 wickets for Cayman. Good work on the boundary by Jeremiah to keep things to 1. So we're at the halfway stage, 3 runs from that over of 46 for 2.
Yeah. So the first part, as you said, of the innings, 10 gone. I'm sure that Grenada will be quite happy with this performance. No doubt about that at all. And it certainly represents a pretty good position for them. They look very, very good in this competition. Lovely crowd has gathered here to watch the action. And certainly, Lears can take a bow. People were here from as early as 10 o'clock. And just get the feeling that with the games being so competitive, particularly with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada and Barbados in particular, that we could very well have a very interesting situation. And as far as the semi-finals are concerned and then the finals.
So are you familiar with the name Wayne Webster, Andrew?
Wayne Webster.
Wayne Webster. The chief mover and shaker here at Lears.
Oh, where is he? Is he here?
He is here. He's right in Leslie's face.
Oh, hello, Mr. Webster. How are you? The only Webster I know was the gentleman who ran in St. John and never won. He lost his deposit on several occasions. Are you related to that Webster?
His uncle. He's related.
I'm just trying to remember his first name, the Webster. Evans Webster. He ran in St. John against the mighty Errol Barron, expected to get votes. He never did. But when you look at this now, Sergeant 5 from 12, Buchanan
4 from 20.
4 from 20. Pearson Best is on 20 not out. Manning is on 10 not out. But with Prasad, well, they got him late. I don't think he's going to come that late. Let me say to the management of the Cayman Islands, so maybe just join us for a couple of minutes quickly, so we can have a little chat with the manager of the Cayman. Hello to you, sir. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, Andrew.
Introduce yourself. What's your name?
So I'm Sergeant Cornelius Pompey from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service.
You hear that name, Pompey? Pompey is a Vincentian name?
It is a Vincentian name. I'm actually from St. Vincent, but I'm a police officer in the Cayman Islands.
Okay, so you were born and bred in St. Vincent.
Definitely.
And the Grenadines.
Oh, yes,
we tend to, yeah. Becca is my favorite place.
It's mine also.
I've got some land there along with Wayne Hold. We bought some property down there recently.
Wait, is that true?
Yeah, indeed. So, tell us about the Cayman. I mean, what's the population of Cayman, first of all? Can you tell me? approximately?
We have approximately 68,000 people living in the Cayman Islands.
Okay.
Cayman Islands is actually 3 islands coming together as the Cayman Islands. We have the Grand Cayman, which is the biggest.
Right.
We have just over 65,000. Then we have Cayman Brac, which is just over 2,000.
Right.
And just a couple of hundreds in Little Cayman. So that's 3 islands coming
So
together.
where are you? Where are you? Which one?
I'm on the mainland Grand Cayman.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people from St. Vincent and from Barbados that they travel and to find a better life and that kind of thing.
Definitely, you want to say it's kind of multi because we have quite a number of different islands living in the Cayman Islands. Jamaica make up one of the biggest population
Okay.
there.
So most people, you got Barbadians coming, but a lot are coming from Jamaica.
Jamaica, yeah. We don't have a lot of Barbadians there
A lot
too.
of Barbadians, yeah. Any familiar names in terms of Barbados?
We have the Walton. He was a good cricketer here.
What's the first name?
Just can't remember his first
Walton?
name. Walton. And
Here's Pearson Best. Well, but he's a good player. He played for my club long time, St. Catherine's, and played that well. Beautiful. Down to back was where that's gone for 4.
are you familiar with Adrian Seals?
Yes, I know that
Right,
name.
so Adrian Sears is a superintendent of police.
Okay.
He played for the police, Cayman Islands Police there.
Right. And Pearson is an inspector, is it?
Pearson is an inspector.
Okay.
And then we have Charlie and Stephen.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. And of course, Brian Corbin has joined you.
Yeah, Brian is actually the captain now. Brian has joined us in the Cayman Islands, not too long ago though, but he's been one of the forefront in cricket in the Cayman Islands.
Wonderful. Did you play the game yourself?
I did. I
Okay.
did way back in the.
But you're long
islands.
retired now.
Oh yes.
You're like Wayne Holder. Well, Pearson Best looks as if he's going to live up to his name here. He's gone to 24, 51 for 2. The 50s come up. So, good change in terms of length there. The ball before was short. Look at the Yorkham going down the leg side. So, is cricket strong in the Cayman Islands?
No, football is really the thing.
That's
in
a
the
big-
Cayman
big
Islands.
sport there.
Yeah, it's a big sport there, football. But we do have a local competition that goes on year round. But outside of that, cricket is not. We are actually trying to bring a lot of young people on board now. The police cricket team.
That's very wide of the off stump by Thomas, called a wide. So this has been a good partnership here between these two. In fact, it's realized 41. We're into over number 11, and Cayman Island Police will be looking to try to get up to maybe 120, 130. So you're saying that football is the big sport there?
Football is a big sport there. With the police cricket club, what we are trying to do now is to involve the young people. Most of the
It's another wide. Continue.
Right. Most of the time when we travel with one young person with us, one youth, as part of our engagement with the youths. We do have one which is about 16-year-old with us on the store. Yeah.
So, well, I think you better stay with us. I know that I'm eating into Wayne Holder's time. So you sure? You okay with that?
When you sure?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's sure.
good.
Yeah, he had some good old Bajan soup today. He didn't take the lunch that was provided.
It's definitely a pleasure being sharing this.
He had some pigtails in his soup today. He
Wow.
tends to do that on a Wednesday. Pearson Best has gone big. That's gone into, is it Cane Garden? Oh my golly, hit that very well indeed. He's a big, strong man. And that's gone over the midwick area. That's gone for 6. Well played, Pearson Best.
And it would appear that person really had that one under his belt there. A shot that one would remember. We're going to look back at this on YouTube or whatever.
Can you describe it for me? Have you ever done commentary before?
I've never done commentary, but I guarantee you I can do it.
Okay, here we go. Describe it. Here we go.
So Pearson, that's a very good delivery. However, Pearson delivering that ball high over, it would appear, where is that?
Mid-wicket.
Mid-wicket, and that's gone for 6.
Oh, wonderful. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give you 10 and a half. Don't ask me why we put the half in. But it's good to have you.
It's definitely a pleasure sharing
Very
this,
much indeed.
the broadcast with you.
Are you enjoying Barbados?
Oh, yes, I am. St. Vincent is pretty close to Barbados. So
Yes.
my couple of years in St. Vincent, I would have visited Barbados quite a number
When
of
last
times.
have you gone to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, my
I've
friend?
been there in January of 2023. So
You
that's
didn't go
just-
for Christmas?
No, I didn't.
Oh my golly, how could you miss Christmas in St. Vincent?
9 mornings and all.
9 mornings in that. Oh, come on. Work.
Yeah.
Here's Josh Thomas again. This time Pearson certainly went for the big swing, missed it, but he's looked good so far. So in terms of teams in Cayman, how many teams do you have there playing, approximately?
We do have what we call, like, it's a first division, second division.
Okay.
We do have, not quite sure, maybe like about 10
10
or
teams?
so teams.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Okay.
No Philip Hackett.
Yeah.
Well, of course, fellow commentator Philip Hackett would have spent some time in Cayman. He reckoned he was a big leg spinner, but from our reports, he never really turned the ball. Do you know Philip Hackett?
I think I remember seeing him coaching in one of the schools.
Oh, he
in
was
the-
a coach, really?
In the Cayman Islands.
So he lied to me then. All right, so it's a situation where it's 60 for a loss of 2. Stay with us. I'm going to hand over to Wayne Holder, who is going to continue to have a little chat with you. And at the moment, you're beginning to recover, 60 for 2.
Oh, yes, definitely. The first 2 wickets went down pretty quick, but I know we do have the batsman coming up that can do the job for us.
So what we will do here, we'll invite you to do some comments,
Oh, yeah.
because you seem as if you can do the job, and you even get Wayne Holder's job. But I'm going to leave it with you. It's always a pleasure to talk to Mr. Pompey. Is Pompey a big name a popular name in St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
It is, yes, it is.
Okay, wonderful.
It is. But one thing to remember, the Pompeys actually came from Barbados.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
That's very, in fact, there's a lady called Ms. Pompey. She calls the calling programs all the time. And that's interesting that you talk about history. They actually came from Barbados to Pompeys.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
No.
Do you know any Pompeys in Barbados?
No.
Okay.
Except for the one who sings.
Well, of course, Wayne Holder once again to the Pompey family. He told me that a long time ago. I'll leave it with you. And of course, your next commentator is Wayne Holder.
Yeah, well, thank you, Andrew. And the game continues. Something of a recovery here for the Cayman Islands. Spearheaded by none other than Pearson Best. Pearson Best, I suspect, having been in the Cayman Islands for quite a few years now. On the cricket-wise, I would imagine that he is something of a legend as we witness.
Definitely, Pearson is one of those, what you will call one of those pioneers in cricket in the Cayman Islands. He's been doing a fantastic job, not just with the Police Cricket Club, but cricket in general in the Cayman Islands.
61 for 2 represents a 50 partnership between this pair. So I think that is a special achievement after the troubles of the early overs.
Yes, definitely. And then Pearson, you can see picking things up there with Paul Manning. And we're going to see where it gets from there. We still have Brian Corbin to come.
It's dropping this one away into the offside, but rolling back the clock somewhat because a few of the shots that I have seen here would have been vintage Pearson Best before he left Barbados. I don't know if you know a lot about his exploits before he came over to Cayman.
No, I didn't. But
Swept away, out towards deep mid-wicket. Good, generous bounce to the man, only a single. But yes, Pearson Best would have figured a prolific scorer at the highest local level and one who would have been somewhat of a stalwart and to keep saying his club, St. Catherine, played in the first division competition and a household name in Barbados is cricket. Up to the point that he left, steered away behind point, diving effort. The ball is going to run into the boundary at wide third man. So a nice, clever shot there played by Manning the delivery on the off stump and just giving himself a bit of room and opening the face of the bat, running it past the man
Yes.
at short third man, and 4 clever runs. 67 for 2 it is at the end of over number 12 as we look at it again.
Yeah.
Short
So
again, he had
Manning
it.
just coming across, giving himself space, and the ball going down, and crosses the boundary line. Yes, and that's 4 runs.
So Manning is 16, Best is 33. We've had some 12 overs, and the Cayman Islands invited to bat 67 for 2 after some early troubles, or at one point 11 for 2. And this pair now adding some 56 for the third wicket.
And Wayne, you know, on our arrival here, I think the second day we played a match in St. Catherine, which is
Mayfield,
Pearson's home ground.
Right, yeah, so it's-
It was a fantastic day out there. Had quite a large crowd coming out to see the Cayman Police doing their thing. We did lose though, but it was good.
Well, no shaming losing
No.
in Barbados. The cricket island, if ever there was an island to be called the cricket island.
It will be Barbados.
Yeah, it's between Barbados. As we have a change of bowling at the pavilion end. Darrell Cyrus comes back. I think he would have started at the far end. Bowling his brand of right arm, back of the arm spin, and Best is bowled. Playing on to a delivery, undone by the extra bounce obtained by Cyrus, looking for the pull shot, the ball off the under edge. I suspect it might have also gone on to strike the pad onto the leg stump, and the entertainment provided by Pearson Best comes to an end. But I must say, it was a pleasant sight to see Pearson Best looking like the guy I used to know as we saw this delivery. It was short, it bounced a bit more, he's cramped there. It is best for room as he looks to play that pull shot and only succeeds in dragging it into his leg stump.
So the captain decides to bring the bowler back from the opposite end this time, and now that he can see it has reached some success.
Well, Best comes back to a round of applause. 33 he made of 23 balls, 5 fours and 1 6. And after 2 deliveries in the 13th over, 67 for 3.
So we see where Passad is going to join Manning at the crease now. Passad, local from Barbados. He's part of the Cayman Islands team. So he's a very good batsman. We saw him in the earlier match. That was 2 days ago. I think he made over 50 runs.
Well, he has a reputation of being a fierce striker of the ball, a dangerous batter. Ravindra Prasad in local competition. Actually a member of the police force, the police service here in Barbados, but for some reason or another he does not play for the police. Well, he used to be a member of the police service here
Who's that?
in Barbados. Ravindra Prasad played for police at the local level.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, he's now playing with the Yorkshire club, who are actually be playing in the elite division, the highest local division for the first time this coming season. Short delivery, tugged away out to long on by Prasad. He gets off the mark with a single, but if you do see Prasad at his best, I'm sure you're going to enjoy what he has to offer.
He did quite a lot of cut on the first match. I think that was against Barbados at the
Weymouth, I did see that. Now he made 55.
Yes.
It wasn't dominated, the scoring.
Yes.
I think you made something like 84,
Yes.
and he got 55
out of that. So
out of that total.
that tells you,
yes,
he was a
but-
very good batsman there. And we look forward to another 55 or more here.
Well, yeah, 69 it is for 3, so you're going to need every one of those 55 runs as this delivery is going on to the back foot and plays a powerful wristy shot back along the pitch, well fielded by the bowler, and the over 13 finishes with the Cayman Islands 69 for 3. Prasad would have had an outing also in the CPL T10 competition last season.
Okay, great.
I'm not so exactly sure which team he would have played for, Prasad. The St. Lucia's. In the CPL T10 last season, He played for the St. Lucia franchise in that competition. So he's a person who has gotten some recognition. I'm also told that he had some exploits in Canada, also last summer. So we look at the Cayman Islands scorecard. At the bowling
From
here for
Grenada.
the Grenada bowling.
So we have Redhead 4 overs, 1 maiden, 11 runs, no wicket, an average of 2.8.
Yes. Strange occurrence. We would get back to it as the new bowler, a new over from Johan Jeremiah begins. And Manning is looking to play a nudge into the outside. One can almost see looking to drop that ball in the outside and look for the sharp single. But I think the delivery spinning back into him and ending up back with the bowler. Onto the front foot, the ball, I believe, coming off the inside edge of the bat onto the bat. Thinking of going for a single, but the bowler always had it under control. I had the unusual situation of two bowlers going right through with their full allotment of 4 overs. The opening pair, Redhead and Dubisset for Grenada. As this delivery short, pulled into the onside. The batsmen go quickly for 1. They will remain on 1 though. Return comes in. But this pair, Dubisset and Redhead, working up a head of steam at the start of the innings. I see you've also got another local player in the person of Donica Sargent, who would have opened your batting.
Yes.
Again,
And from what I heard, he's a very good batsman. Unfortunately.
well, it's a matter of levels. Yes,
yeah.
he plays for the second division, a police second division side. And does apparently does fairly well in that competition. But if you know the difference, you will know that there's a gulf between second division and elite.
Yeah, yes.
Coming onto the front for this Prasad. Clips this one into the outside for an easy single. So he's quite prepared to give himself something of a sighter. Just looking to grow into his innings gradually. Picking up a couple of singles so far. He's 272 for 3 is the total. Jeremiah, right arm off spin, is on the off stump, looking to slash behind point. Is Manning doesn't take contact and then rehearses a reverse sweep. But the Cayman Islands, the opportunities to play at a higher level. What opportunities are there though to play at a higher level coming for a person coming out of the Cayman Islands program?
Manning actually is one of our national players. And the opening batsman, Jamal, is also one of our national.
Buchanan. So those are Cayman Islands. And what competition would you be involved in at the national level?
At the national level, they are the national competition which is organized by the Cricket Association, have quite a number of teams, say about 10 or 12 teams within that competition. And these guys play for their home team, but they are also, along with Brian Corbin, are also members of the national, Cayman Islands national.
So who are the teams that Cayman Islands would play against? I'm trying to find out.
Teams like there's one called Greenies, that Cayman Islands would play against.
That Cayman Islands would play against.
Oh no, no. I was talking about the local level.
Local competition.
But,
so there's any opportunity for, let's say, a player from the Cayman Islands to represent the Leeward Islands? Is there any such a association?
No,
with the Leeward Islands?
No, there's not, because Cayman is actually in the west.
Well, a typical Ravindra Prasad shot, down on one knee, playing that slug sweep. Lots of wrist in that shot, helping this delivery from outside the off stump. Over the man at cow corner, 6 runs. Ravi Prasad on the go with a maximum 80 for 3 as we look at it here on the monitor again. The leg spinner wide outside the off stump. In fact, he had to haul that one high over mid-wicket, but did well to actually reach it. Picks up another boundary from the next delivery. So Prasad beginning to motor now. As I mentioned to you, did take a couple of balls to find his way, feel his way into the conditions, but now beginning to open up. Rushes up to 12. Cyrus, the right arm wrist spinner, is pitching up and driven, but that one pitching right up into the block hole. Prasad hitting it hard into the pitch, having to dig it out. Can't beat the bowler. It's a flatter delivery outside the off stump, looking to dab it away. Is Prasad, the ball is through to the wicket keeper. So you were telling me that the Cayman Islands.
Right, so the Cayman Islands is the Western Caribbean, so they wouldn't have a chance of playing with the Leewards, because the Leewards then the Eastern Caribbean.
Well, yeah, further down, but of course we do hear of the likes of I think BVI.
Yes.
But these are the
Yes, so BVI fall within that category.
So any hopes of Cayman Islands moving into any of the ICC competitions, for instance, you know, the different tiers of ICC competition that allows for associates. Cayman an associate member of the ICC?
Right. Not quite sure, but that would be something good in terms of exposure for these players, especially when you look at Manning and Jamal, Brian, who are playing from a national level.
Well, sir, I'm going to have to thank you very much. Well, not exactly my stint, but we're now cutting into Joel's stint, so I'm going to ask him to take over.
All
But
right,
it has been a pleasure talking to you.
It was definitely
and
a pleasure.
You are welcome here in Barbados. I hope you continue
I'll be back.
enjoy the trip, and I hope that you learn a lot about
Definitely.
cricket while you are here, and that there will be some improvement. There'll be some benefit to show when you get back home. I'll tell Philip Hackett that I saw you and he told me the truth about him. And that you told me the truth about him. Thanks once again.
Definitely thanks for allowing me to share the broadcast with yourself and Andrew earlier on.
And of course, Joel, who is going to come in now and take over.
Thank you guys very much.
From that end of the ground. And I continue to wish you and your team all the best. Pleasure. So Joel, we're heading down into the final part. Well, this is normally the part in this that referred to as the death. And with at the wicket, we can expect some fireworks as long as he remains there. Coming down to the end at 86 for 3 after 15. Not so sure that the Cayman Islands are in the kind of position that they would have wanted to be, but something of a recovery after the events of the opening spell from the Grenada fast bowlers.
Certainly a recovery, and the platform is actually set for them to launch here in these final 5. And the man to do just that will be Ravinder Prasad, probably scampering for 2. I don't think he has the legs to get to the boundary. Some good footwork out there. In fact, coming back for 3, so good running by them. But yeah, certainly a recovery after being 11 for 2 after 5.3. Now 89 for 3 after 15.3. And you must think that with Prasad out there and still a couple to come, that they could probably look, set their sights on maybe a 130, a 140, even a 150.
And it really was a joy to see Pearson Best reminding us that riding a bicycle is something that you don't ever forget. And you can see that this is a man who is out of the top drawer. Some of the shots of his play, the technique that he displayed, and is only now getting on in the years.
Yeah, it certainly started a touch slow, and that was given the pressure that was put on at the moment by the opening pair. But he weathered the storm, as they would say, and then he motored along quite nicely to get up to 33 off of 23. In terms of how things are set up for them at the moment, you would have to think that the swinging, the attack, the onslaught would be coming fairly soon. A bit of disappointment, but that's going to be a dot ball to close out over number 16 at the end of it, 91 for 3.
Well, Manning has been there for quite a while, featured in that partnership, that handy partnership for the 3rd wicket with Pearson Best. And I think he has been there long enough now that one would expect that he will be part of that onslaught. He would want to be part of that onslaught, having made 21 from 30. Scorecard dominated by that 33 by Cyrus. And the opening pair occupying some 32 deliveries for just 9 runs at the start of the innings.
Whether or not he wants to be a part of that onslaught or not, his team will demand it from him. 91 for 3 and eyeing at what could probably be the biggest total that they've been able to get thus far in this regional police tournament. After looking at the start and the fact that things didn't necessarily shape up how they might want them, they'll be happy with the position that they currently find themselves in. 4 overs to go and all to play for here at this Lears venue. The sun has left us a bit, and it's perfect conditions, we would have to say, for T20 cricket this afternoon.
Well, yes, I would love it to be in the middle. If the conditions were to remain like this all the time, nice cool conditions, the sun gone behind the cloud.
Well, there's going to be Cyrus to bowl his final over. And he starts it well. He must be careful because with the wind blowing towards us here, we saw many balls disappear over the pavilion into the roadside. So anything short, you might have to tell yourself, might disappear here today.
What he's been able to do, though, he's been able to keep the ball close to Prasad, I noticed. And that has helped to keep Prasad a bit quiet up to this stage.
That feels set for exactly what I've talked about. There's a man at a wideish long on, a man at deep mid-wicket. There's a man at deep square leg as well. And he's bowled him. The bails are up, and Prasad must depart.
Now that is brilliant bowling. Again, as I mentioned to you, he has been able to keep the ball close to Prasad, close to his feet, not allowing him for the room to swing his arms through a lot of the deliveries. And that one, a quicker delivery, I suspect that might even have been a bit of a wronging from the leg spinner when I get a chance to see. But a fine delivery, blocked by but I believe that was a bit of a googly, deceiving Prasad, playing back to that delivery when he very well could have been forward and breaching his defense. Stumps knocked back, and a victory for Darrell Cyrus. Well bowled to him, 93 for 4.
Well bowled indeed. I talked about the fact that he's going to have to be very tight on his lines. He's going to have to be straight, probably a bit flatter as well. Did just that, and he picked up the prized wicket of Ravindra Prasad. 100, I've given them a couple more runs than they have. 93 for 4 they are at the moment.
Halfway in the 17th over, as the captain, Brian Corbin, finally makes his entrance. My good friend Gunsmoke has been questioning, where is Brian Corbin? Why hasn't he come? But he's finally here. Yes, very much so. Very well known in local circles. This one flighted up a full toss. Sorry.
You might think that maybe that one could have been swung away.
But the new batsman to the crease, still to get his bearings, get his sighting. So you may get away with that to the new batter.
Not me, he just did get away with it. Into Manning. Manning tries to hoist it away. Doesn't get much onto it. A hush has come over the venue here at Lears as we get into crunch time, the back end.
For as long as he has been there, though, Manning has been unable to break free, to really break those shackles. He's now reached some 22 of 32 balls. Only struck the one boundary. Captain Corbin fell for a duck in the first match, opening the batting. Well, the Gunsmoke reminds me of a warm ball duck, a golden duck.
That one fired in, can't get a run. And that brings us to the end of 17. 3 left, 95 for 4.
Well, Cyrus take a round of applause, very well bowled. 2 for 19 from 4 overs. Just to think that a number of those balls would have been bowled at the dangerous Ravindra Prasad. And coming out unscathed, one would have to say, Darrell Cyrus, the leg spinner. Quick through the ear, not often that you see leg spinners as quick as he is, but has proven to be very effective, getting the wicket off Ravindra Prasad eventually. He also got Pearson Best. So 2 of the major players in the Cayman Islands side, Cyrus was able to remove in that spell.
Drops it short, but can't get it past cover. Regis into his second over. Just 2.5 deliveries left, or rather overs. 2.5 overs left in this contest. Can't get that one either. The boundaries certainly haven't flowed for the Cayman Islands today.
Pearson Best struck 5 fours. There were 2 others struck along the line, while he also struck one of the 2 sixes recorded in the innings. So yes, the boundaries have been rather few and far between.
Brian Corbin was hoping to do something a little different. Not an aggressive stroke played just yet by him. You must see at this stage he maybe might run out of deliveries. Well, he tries to go for that one, doesn't get under it. Another single to the total.
Sit down too long on Brian Corbin. Remember this youngster playing for the Alexandra School back in the day when I was playing club cricket. I was the youngsters playing in the intermediate division. So really, yeah, dot ball, and rather quiet. Swing and a miss outside the off stump. There's an appeal for a catch at the wicket, so he actually didn't miss it, Joel.
The edge found, and Manning, well, he's got to put on his walking boots. He heads back into the pavilion. He had a long stay at the crease. A long, painful stay, some might say, given that it's 23 off of 35, but 23 valuable runs, you would have to say, for the Cayman Islands. They're now 97.
Well,
for 5.
In the context of what has happened for the Cayman, a decent return from Manning, having to really throw caution to the wind, having no other option, I believe, at this stage of the innings, going for the big swing. And a good catch taken by the keeper standing up, because with the bat swinging almost wildly in front of him, he did well to keep his composure, hold on to the nick, and send Manning back to the dugout among his peers here on the western side of the pavilion to take it up to 97 for 5 and a wicket to Regis too.
Regis picks up his first. He's got figures now of 1 for 8 from 1.5. The final delivery of his over. And that one's cut away, and I do believe he'll have the legs to get into the boundary. In fact, it's pulled inside. And 2 runs to Brian Corbin. So Johan Jeremiah, he's into his 3rd. The score moves on to 99.
Just got some good news for Andrew Mason, Joel. Marcus Rashford scoring for Manchester United, who take a 1-0 lead.
Oh, tries to get under that one, but can't. Corbin. We noted the fact that a lot of the batters have opted to swing toward this pavilion end. Just get it into the breeze, and the wind will take it. Good bowling by Jeremiah, keeping it away from the swinging arc of Corbin.
Well, as the beginning of the innings in the power play, Joel, it was a fairly quiet going by the Cayman Islands, and now we're into the death, and this is one of the quietest death periods that I would have ever witnessed in a T20 match.
Dot balls of gold at the end. Here, that score moved up to 100.
Exactly.
With that single from Corbin.
The 100 off 117 deliveries, 7 fours and 2 sixes.
And once again, can't get the connection that they're looking for. So things just creeping along slowly for the Cayman Islands. tries to get that. And a misfield allows them to get the boundary. So they'll take that and hope they can get many more. That closes out the 19th over.
Well, a shot in anger by Brian Corbin down the ground and badly misfielded by the man there at long off, allowing a boundary, a rare boundary in this innings. And with only 1 over to go, Corbin hitting this one back over the head of the bowler. The ball bouncing along an uneven turf, we must admit. And the fielder looking to swoop around, probably moving a bit too fast, allowing the ball through. And the boundary taken, 105 for 5.
So the final over of this match, the final over of this innings. I said match, but it's not over yet. Grenada still to bat, and probably the happier the two sides at the moment. It'll be Regis to bowl the final over, and he starts it in the fashion of how things have gone so far with a single.
I think Cayman would want Brian Corbin on strike as often as possible, or as much as possible.
Well, the thickest outside edge, and the fortune will favor the Brave, and the Brave is Brian Corbin.
Big swing, looking to get this one away wide of long on. The ball peeling off the outside edge and going high over the fielder at short third man. But as you say, the intent was there. That's what was important.
Well, the intent certainly needs to be there. Just 4 deliveries left in this now. Cayman Islands 110 for 5. Goes again. And don't think about coming back for the second. One for 5. And this one into the air again. I do think it will evade the fielder. It does fall safely.
Actually, between two fielders, one man coming in from deep cover, the other man running back from the conventional cover position, and they did not take a run.
Did they run?
No, they didn't. Oh, yes, they did run one, and it's Brian Corbin.
A sprinting to get back on strike and gets there safely. Oh,
Not so safe after all. Umpire Thompson's hand goes up.
Well, in fact, Brian Corbin is run out. Coming back for the second, looking for the strike. I did tell myself, just on my naked eye, that he was there, but the umpire with a better view than me says, no, Brian Corbin has to go. And that's wicket number 6 down for them.
You got to have a look at it again. As Corbin goes for the big swing, drags it away into the onside. The ball goes out to deep mid-wicket, and they complete one. Not really going earnestly for that first run, Corbin. I think that is where he was found wanting. Coming back for the second. And the return on the bounce picked up. And the bails removed, yes, before Corbin is able to make his ground. But I think what his undoing was not going immediately, going hard on the first run of that attempted two.
So it'll be the new batter to face the final delivery of this innings. And they'll look to push for 2 again. And this time, they get home comfortably. So 2 runs to end it off. After their 20 overs, the Cayman Islands, they've reached 115 for 6.
115 for 6 from 20. Very good job done by the Grenadians in the field, both the bowling and the general out cricket. And the Cayman Islands never able to really break free of this stranglehold that was taken from the very beginning of the innings by the Grenadians. Pearson Best in the middle there did try his utmost to bring some fluency to the batting, to the score, the run rate. But again, he was left basically all alone in the effort. As we have a look here at the scorecard for the Cayman, Sargent 5, Buchanan 4, Best 33, Manning 23, but from all of 36 deliveries. Prasad made 18 from 15, Corbin 14 from 10, and Strauss left not out. As a matter of fact, Corbin made 15 from 11. Strauss left not out with 3, and Servant Charles not out with 2, and a grand total of 112 for 5. Some 12 extras included. And then looking at the quick bowling figures for Grenada, Redhead, none for 11. Dubisset, 2 for 14. Thomas, none for 27. Cyrus, 2 for 19. Jeremiah, none for 20. And Regis, 1 for 18. A quite efficient job done by the Grenada police in the field. And now for them to complete what would be a clinical performance by knocking off the rather paltry 115 for 6 offered up by the Cayman Islands.
Well, yep. If you're just joining us, Cayman Islands, they batted first and they reached 115 for 6. Which tells us that Grenada will need 116 if they're going to get back-to-back wins here in this regional police tournament. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it'll be the turn of Grenada to see whether or not they can get another win in this competition. Good afternoon and welcome to the final innings of the fourth day of this regional police cricket tournament. The Cayman Islands, they're taking on Grenada. If you're just joining us, the Cayman Islands, they batted first and they reached 115 for 6 in their 20 overs. The question on the minds of everybody is, can Grenada get that 116 required here for a victory? They got up to 172 yesterday, but different times and different conditions and a different task on hand for them. The order of the day for Cayman Islands, can they pick up early wickets? And well, if you're Grenada, you're going to want to have the start that you had yesterday. That start got them up to 107 for 1 after just 12 overs. And that was the pair of Jeremiah and Lawrence. And once again, they'll be opening the batting here at Lears. This left-hand, right-hand combination posed a bit of problems for bowlers in this competition. To get things started for the Cayman Islands, they'll be serving Charles. As expected, a tall, fast bowler. The fast bowlers have certainly enjoyed the surface here at Lears. Pace, bounce, cool conditions as well. Starts with one that is wayward, one that is wide, and one that is 4. So 5 runs to kick things off for Grenada. Not off the bat, but they would take that type of a start. I talked about that opening factor on that particular occasion. Just taking that ball wide and wider. The keeper who couldn't grab it on that occasion. Just 115 that they're defending. That one gets to the keeper, but this time it's stopped by the man at third man. And you would have to say, not good running by this pair. Signaled another wide by the umpire, so no legal deliveries just yet. In this match, probably could have considered the possibility of 2 runs on that occasion, as the man at third man had a lot of running to do to get around to that one. So Lyndon Lawrence, he faces his first delivery. He got 75 off 39 balls yesterday. Smashed it to all parts. And a misfield allow him to get off the mark. And once again, the running failing Grenada at the moment. But Lawrence's first delivery yesterday whistled away to the boundary. His second delivery whistled away to the boundary as well. So Cayman might want to keep that in mind.
The big fish.
The first runs off the bat for Jeremiah. This time they push for the second. Just 2 legal deliveries bowled in this innings. He scored 10 without loss. Grenada. Benefited from a wonderful opening partnership. Yesterday, Jeremiah back from doing his duties with the Windward Islands Volcanoes. Getting into this spell now is Serving Charles. You would have to say that things have progressively gotten better for him as he went along. The first 2 deliveries wide and wider of the off stump. Now getting a bit tighter onto the top of off stump. That looked good, and it is good. The first boundary off the bat for Grenada.
Yeah, Serving Charles is a very tall man, almost Ambrose-like, but no pace really, and no difficulty at all. One of the impressive sides in this competition being Grenada. We've seen St. Vincent, and we've seen Barbados. Big game on for Barbados tomorrow against Antigua, right here at Lears.
Tries to go again, but probably not the length for that shot. Not getting up as we've seen other deliveries do on this surface here at Lears.
What time is that game tomorrow?
And it should have been the end of the over, but in fact, sprayed down the leg side. So another delivery to be bowled. A very expensive start for Serving Charles. Come through for a single. So the first over finally comes to an end. At the end of it, 16 without loss.
Yeah, very good start for Grenada Police. They should go on to win this. In fact, when I look at the competition, the weaker sides would be Cayman Islands and the BVI. Trinidad looks pretty okay as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who would actually get in to the semifinals. I understand Trinidad may be boasted by some big guns coming tomorrow. That has not been confirmed as yet, but I'm hearing that Emirates may very well be playing for Trinidad. So we shall wait and see what happens as far as that is concerned. If he does, that will be a tremendous boost, not only to Trinidad and Tobago, but of course to the entire competition. See my good friend from Grenada. Is it Grenada or St. Vincent? Grenada. Says he loves Barbados. He's going to get married to a Bajan and live here in Lears.
So Paul Manning, it appears, serving Charles.
That's your cousin, isn't it?
Starts with a dot delivery. Cayman Islands in search of wickets. Early wickets to possibly peg back Grenada. Put a bit of pressure onto them. It's been a good 2 balls from Manning.
Yeah, they'd love the Cayman Islands to get a couple of wickets early to exert some pressure on Grenada. But when you don't make many runs, you know, there's not that hustle and bustle.
Good looking shot from Jeremiah, and it will have the legs to run away to the boundary. A fantastic shot.
Very good shot indeed. It was short, asking to be hit really, and punched away through cover for 4.
It is dropping fractionally short and wide of the off stump. And any left-hander would capitalize on that. The good running continues by this pair, and they will be helped by a misfield as well. In not having the biggest total on the board, you must ensure you stay tight, and if you'll give yourself the best chance of applying pressure to the opposition. Tries to get cute and steer that one, Jeremiah. Doesn't get back onto it. Probably missed out on that occasion. The wind would have taken it, but the end of the second over, 22 without loss.
Yeah, solid start for the Grenada Police. In charge, in command. Rate required is just 5.22. The current rate is 11. So they require just 94 runs for victory in 18 overs. And that really, Joel, should be a pretty simple assignment.
It should be, but in a game of cricket, you just never know. You've seen smaller targets pose problems to opposition. And one man will be hoping to pose problems to the opposition is Ravindra Prasad. He's been introduced into the attack now. Just 1 over for serving Charles.
Yeah, they really got to get more to Prasad, not only with his batting, but certainly with his bowling. Very competent spin bowler as well. Playing for the Yorkshire side in Barbados, a side that was recently promoted. Very tight left arm spin.
And he's greeted with a hello and a goodbye. That one races away.
Yeah, wonderful shot. Too wide and full, and just had to get back into that really, and goes through cover for 4.
Tossed up on that particular occasion outside the off stump from Prasad. And Lawrence needs no invitation to stretch his arms. That gets him going his first boundary.
Much better length on that occasion. It was pulled down. The batsman made the necessary adjustment. Ball before was too full and wide.
Yeah, certainly a good adjustment from him. Can't afford to get too short though, especially given the field that's set at the moment. once again tight by Prasad, learning from the mistake of that first delivery.
So it's been a very good comeback by Prasad here, recognizing the importance of bowling good length and good line. That must be out.
And he's trapped in front. The dreaded finger goes up, and Prasad strikes.
Yeah, went on the back foot to a ball that he saw short, his eyes open wide, but the thing was that it kept a bit low, and umpire Thompson really had no difficulty in giving that. Yeah, on the back foot, struck plumb in front. From what we see there, that would have crashed into the middle stump.
Well, they wanted early wickets, and an early wicket is what they've got. Grenada 26 for 1. Lawrence, he goes for 5 from just 6 deliveries.
As I said, you know, you got to get more to Prasad. He's got a bat higher, and he's got a bowl early as well. You know, I believe that you should stop a crisis rather than to come to one. And very often, teams tend to delay having their best cricketers perform up front, which is a bit strange, really. And sometimes when you look at the construct of batting lineups, you begin to wonder why certain players are batting in certain positions. I think Police can do a bit of a tweak with their batting lineup. I think a Bab should come a bit earlier.
Well, Shondell Regis strides to the crease and joins Jeremiah. 2 left-handers at the crease now for Grenada. Got 27 in a match yesterday versus Barbados. The end of what has been a successful over for Prasad and the Cayman Islands. At the end of it, 26 for 1. Cayman Islands will be hunting for more success. They'll certainly need to take wickets and take them at regular intervals if they're going to stand a chance of restricting Grenada here. Spin coming from both ends. A good connection and a good result for Jeremiah. The crowd has still stayed with us throughout this day. They've enjoyed some wonderful cricket. Just trained down the leg side and just had to get a bit of bat on it there, Jeremiah. Well, it goes upish and through the hands, and back-to-back boundaries for him. A chance for Jeremiah, but a chance goes a-begging. Burst through the hands of the man at cover. And he has gotten a bit of a motor going. Just tossed up outside that off stump, inviting the drive. And it was a difficult chance, but a chance that probably should have been taken. Brilliant stop. Keeps it down to just 1.
So just to let you know that the BVI will be playing against Grenada tomorrow. That game is at 10 o'clock. And then Barbados will play against Antigua and Barbuda. Both games will be streamed. And both games will be coming from here at Layers. Lovely, lovely venue. So we encourage all of you to, of course, check the stream. And if you can make it, please do. Lots of room here. Lovely breeze. Plenty of parking for you. So we encourage you to come tomorrow and watch Barbados in a very important match against Antigua and Barbuda, having lost twice. So once again, BVI versus Grenada. Barbados playing against Antigua and Barbuda. Those games will be played tomorrow. The first, about BVI versus Grenada at 10, and then the Barbados game is going to be at 2. So take note.
That one flies off the edge. And fortune favoring Jeremiah. He picks up 3 boundaries in that over. 14 in total from it, 40 for 1.
Well, with a small score like that, you certainly got to take your chances, and they've not.
Yesterday, Jeremiah opted to play the anchor role in the Grenada innings.
Well, if you're a Newcastle fan, you will be happy. They're up 3-1 against West Ham. Manchester United up 1-0 against Brentford. So the battle is on for those 4 places. Newcastle, they've done very well.
Continues to be tight. Ravindra Prasad. Just 4 runs from his first over. Picked up the wicket as well of the dangerous Lyndon Lawrence. That one keeps low as well. Posing some problems, answering some questions here is Prasad.
He is. There's no doubt about that. He's ever since the first ball he bowled that was full and wide, he's really settled in quite nicely to a very good groove, and as you said, causing 1 or 2 problems as well.
Scamper, a quick one. Thought there was a bit of trouble for a moment.
Yeah, the fielder at mid-wicket far too slow. Big man, not the movement that you would have expected. And they got the single in the end comfortably. Fielding is so important.
Crunched away. My dear me, that is lovely from Jeremiah.
You're right, it was too short, too wide, and he found the gap on the offside quite nicely between backward point and cover. And once it gotten through, the timer was good enough for it to race to the boundary. Yeah, far too short.
On anything short, Jeremiah played well off the back foot in this innings, taking what would be, I guess, the aggressor role in comparison to what he did yesterday, but doing it quite well. In behind that one nicely to take the score up to 46 at the end of over number 5.
Yes, and really cruising. I mean, it's not a situation where they have to be 70 or 80. I mean, the assignment for them now is, well, just 70 more to get, with a rate required of 4.67. They're scoring at 9.20. So the Grenada Police force should go on to win this quite comfortably, I would think.
Yeah, they're looking like it. I would still say too early to call. Another 15 overs left in this encounter, and wicket certainly can build the pressure required here for the Cayman Islands. It's going to be Jamil Buchanan now being introduced into the attack. So continue with the trial by spin for the Cayman Islands. And he starts as any bowler would want to start with a dot ball.
Well, certainly Buchanan would want to try to pick up a wicket here for the Cayman Islands.
Down the leg side, and this will be a couple for them. Signal wide by the umpire, so 3 runs to the total, just 1 shy of 50. Things certainly looking easy for Grenada. And that brings up the 50 for them. 50 for 1. 50 coming off of 36 deliveries.
Well, Grenada seems to be cruising at this stage and really looking to continue their winning minutes from yesterday.
It certainly has looked relatively easy for them so far. As I mentioned, still some time left in this encounter.
But Joe, no pressure at all. The Grenadians look under no pressure. They look easy. They're playing the ball on its merit and rotating the strike regularly, getting the occasional run as this one, going down behind square, down to the fine leg boundary for 4.
Yeah, the runs keep coming for them. And the runs keep coming for Johan Jeremiah. He races now to 36 off of 20 deliveries. Once again, just straying on to the leg side and just needed to get some bat onto it. This outfield has been running beautifully. And as soon as it beat the man that's at this backward square leg, it was guaranteed to be a boundary.
Well, it's a fast outfield, and you do get value for your shots.
Talking about value, that's the best value you can have. That is 6 big ones.
But that's a beautiful shot there from Jeremiah. He waited on one and pulling that one over the backward square boundary into the boundary for 6. A lovely shot from Jeremiah. And what I like about this Grenadian team is that yesterday Lawrence was the man, but today somebody else stepped up and playing the part here, come to the party and continue. As you can see, it's a delivery on the line of the leg stump, and Jeremiah wasting no time, and that over the backward square region into the boundary for 6.
Wrapped on the pad, asking a question of umpire Laverty. She says, no, that completes the power play. 6 gone at 61 for 1.
Well, 61 for 1. Grenada really cruising here. And they look like a real unit. You can see it from in the field, the bowling and the batting. They're really rotating the strike, getting the occasional boundary, and certainly looking to continue their winning ways today.
Well, they'll certainly be hoping to do just that. But one man who might stand in their way, he has the ball in hand right now. He's into his 3rd.
Well, Ravindra Prasad, former Barbados Police Service player, a very experienced, plays his trade now for Yorkshire, and he's a very experienced player, and he's the man certainly to watch that can peg back this Grenada side.
Driven nicely, and just 1. Either left or right of that field, you would have to tell yourself that would have run away. Brings Jeremiah back onto strike. He's raced to 42 off just 22.
And again, on this occasion, Prasad keeping it tight. The dot ball's going in the book, and going a very tidy line, Prasad, and trying to keep Jeremiah from getting any boundaries at all or trying to rotate the straight. He's trying to keep that dot balls going.
Has an almighty heave. And just 1 bounce into the boundary.
Well, certainly, Joel, you have to be commentator's curse after trying to say that Prasad, he's bowling a tidy line, but Jeremiah wasted no time in hitting that one over the miracle board into the boundary, and he is pressing on, as you can see here, flight delivery, and he's hitting that one over the onside, a lovely boundary.
Goes back now to that length and that line that's been working for him, just a bit flatter and on top of the off stump. Worked away for a single. It's been fantastic cricket, you have to say, though, by Johan Jeremiah thus far.
Yes, he's batting very, very, very classy, and he's mixing defense with aggression. And as you can see, he certainly has a plan in his mind.
Well, that plan, whatever it is working for him and working for Grenada. The boundaries are coming and still rotating the strike. And with that, the score moves up to 68.
Well, the key is key in 2020 cricket to rotate the strike. You don't have to get all the boundaries, but the key important is to rotate the strike, keep the scoreboard ticking.
Well, talking about ticking, it ticks along to 69 for 1. 7 overs have been bowled here. There's 47 runs required for Grenada to win.
And Grenada continue to build partnerships, and that's key to 2020 cricket also. Barbados didn't do that this morning. That's where they fell down. Batting, and they didn't build the partnership. They don't rotate the strike. They were getting the boundaries, but not rotating the strike enough so that they can put a sizable total on the board at that stage.
There's still a lovely crowd on hand here for us here at Lears. The conditions have gotten cooler and cooler as we've ventured down towards the evening. Just 2 away from a half century, Jeremiah. And it's Adrian Thomas now who's been introduced into the attack from that road end.
Well, Thomas, a former BCL player for the Barbados Police Service, is now joined Cayman Islands, and we will see what he does here, or if he can continue to bowl dot balls just as Prasad had done before that he was struck for the 6.
That's a mighty heave, and that will be 50 for Johan Jeremiah. Well done, young man.
Well, that is a very beautiful 50. That 50 from Jeremiah continued to bat very well. 27 balls, 27 minutes at the crease, 9 fours and 1 6, and he really showed his class here. Thomas a bit short on that occasion, Joel, and I really think that at this stage you won't want to bowl short bowling. You would see at this wicket it stands up, and you'll be able to get it away.
Yeah, just digs it in short and taken advantage of by Jeremiah. Punches his one nicely and continues in the fashion that he has all afternoon long.
Well, Thomas coming into the attack, and bit of bowling short. I think he needs to pitch up the ball, because as you can see earlier, when you pitch up the ball, it is better, and you bowl it outside the off stump. Those guys were having trouble, but the sharp bowling has been knocked out of the park.
Signal wide by the umpire. So not the best of starts to this over for Adrian Thomas. He's been short and down the leg side, short and wide. That wind also taking the ball on the angle across the two left-handers at the moment, bowling around the wicket to them. And a case of short and wide again.
He's having a hurried opening bowler, Joel. Bowling time, and bowling the ball short is not going to do anything good for him, because the wind is going to take it down the leg side and it will be called away, or he will be put off the park. He needs to concentrate on his line and left and pitch up that ball on the liner or stump to peg back this Grenadian side.
Another short ball, and the result this time is 6 runs.
But really, Joel, Thomas not really learning. He continued to bowl short, and as you can see from the first game, short bowling be put out the park, and when, as you can see here, it was a short delivery, and the batsman certainly it's a gift really, and putting that one out the park over the mid-wicket region. As you saw earlier, when Pearson Best was batting, short bowling would certainly be put away on this wicket.
On the charge was Regis, just gets a single. A familiar shot, a familiar result. Dare I say the cars are in danger here at Lears.
Well, it's a short delivery, and certainly Thomas continued to bowl short, and the batsman here, as you can see, this whipping this one over the mid-wicket region into the boundary. Certainly he needs to pitch up the ball. You can't continue to bowl short on this wicket, because the batsman will get value for their shots, and it'll be meat and drink, Joel. Meat and drink.
Certainly meat and drink for them, and it would appear as those around are in a bit of danger with Jeremiah batting. I've been told that one struck a car. I do hope that no one was injured in the process.
So Thomas is bowling unsafe to the players and spectators, and certainly vehicles around. Well, at this stage, somebody needs to talk to Thomas. Sharp bowling. He continued to bowl short and he continued to be punished. And somebody experienced, the captain, Brian Corbin, should do that.
Well, he closes out with a dot ball, a very expensive over 20 runs from it. 89 for 1.
Well, a dot ball on that occasion, a rare dot ball. And Thomas really had a poor over there. And certainly he would want to, if the captain decides to stick with him, he would want to come back and prove his captain's trust in him. But Jermer and Regis certainly looking to guide the Grenada side to victory here. With Jermer, he's on 59 out of just 30 deliveries, and he's really batting well here. Regis, he's on 12, 89 for 1 at the end of the 8th over, and Grenada looking to come up with another victory and continue their winning ways.
Well, if things continue as they have, it could be a very quick show here. Paul Manning comes back into the attack. He's bowled 2 for 20 so far. Once again, good running by this pair. Good early calling from them.
But it's good communication, Joel, between the two batsmen. Flighted delivery there on occasion, and batsman just guiding it down towards the short turban region for a single, as you can see here.
Pressuring for a second. And the bubble and the fumble means that they will get it. So everything going the way of Grenada at the moment. They motor along, just 24 runs now needed for a victory here at Lears.
Well, certainly Grenada would be in the driver's seat at this stage and feeling very comfortable cruising along, looking for a victory.
In the driver's seat with the handbrake down, heading down a slope towards what certainly looks like back-to-back wins for them here in the Regional Police Cricket Tournament.
Well, yesterday they beat Barbados in a super over. Very exciting cricket, Joel. That cricket won yesterday, but it was very, very exciting cricket at Weymouth yesterday.
I think I saw Paul Manning switch the bails. You know, in terms of superstitions, you're just looking to change the luck of things. I think I caught that at that particular moment, Paul Manning just switching the bails and hoping that maybe it might bring some success for them. Who knows? We'll keep our eyes on it.
Are you superstitious, Joel?
Absolutely not.
Well, we hope that some luck come to him changing the bails over.
Once again, good running by this pair. Not being aware in that offside field at the moment, the Cayman Islands.
Well, Manning certainly looking to peg back this Grenadian side.
When it misses everything, and Manning does not know how. Well, the luck nearly went his way. 9 gone, 94 for 1.
Well, 94 for 1, Grenada in the driver's seat at this stage, looking to cruise onto victory and continue their winning ways from yesterday. 94 for 1 with Jermer. He's played so beautifully, mixed aggression with defense. He is on 62, and he's 62 off 34 balls, 9 fours and 2 sixes, and he continues to show his worth. He's ably assisted by Regis, who's on 14, and Grenada 94 for 1. Would at this stage would be believing they are in the driver's seat and be looking for victory against this Cayman Islands side.
Well, I'm being told that the car on screen was the one that the ball hit. And Krumah Morgan now into the attack from the road end. And that one sails as well. The trouble continues for the Cayman Islands.
Well, and again, continues. That's 100 up. The 100 for the Grenadian side, that 100 coming off 61 deliveries, 36 minutes, 10 fours and 4 sixes. So Grenada large and in charge here at Lears, where the sun is shining bright and outfield placid and well. So Morgan get a bit of stick on that occasion, short, and put over the mid-wicket boundary for another maximum.
A quick single out to Ravi Prasad at deep mid-wicket. Brings it now to 15 runs required for victory.
And certainly 15 runs, Grenada will believe that they can certainly come up with a victory with Jeremiah on strike. And he's been batted so beautifully. He's been the man who led the charge for this run chase, Joel.
Well, just 4 deliveries left in this over, and in the manner that they're going, it could be finished in this over. Pushing for 1.
And again, Joel, I believe the Cayman Islands bowlers continue to bowl short, and that's where the Grenadians are maximizing all those short deliveries.
Signal wide by the umpire. Looking to fire that one in there was Morgan, but just getting it offline.
Well, that one had a bit of pace on it. It went down the leg side. Remember, the wind is very strong out here at Lears, and you must control your line and length here at the stage.
Another 1 to the total. 13 now required for victory. We're into over number 10. 9.3 overs have been bowled here at Lears. In fact, 12 runs needed for victory.
Well, very good batting from Grenada. And as I say again, Joel, the Cayman Islands continue to bowl short. Short bowling on this type of wicket will not do you any good. You will need to pitch up the ball, flight it a little further, give the batsman something to worry about.
Closes it out with a dot ball. 10 gone, the halfway stages. Innings 104 for 1. Beautiful scenes here of Lears as the sun starts to make its way towards the west. The beautiful trees in the background as they make way for Wayne Holder, who will carry to the end as just 12 runs are needed now.
Well, don't forget, thank you, Joel, but don't forget tomorrow we are live streaming from the Lears ground. 2 matches here, one at 10 o'clock. Grenada versus the BVI, and the all-important game tomorrow for Barbados versus Antigua and Barbuda. And Wayne, thank you, welcome back. And Barbados would need to win tomorrow to advance, Wayne.
Well, as you say, the Barbadians really are in for a shock over the past couple of days. But here we see the Grenadians rattling along at a very merry gallop, having been set somewhat a straightforward assignment, just 116 to win against an attack without any real bite in it from the Cayman Islands.
Well, yes, it didn't look. The Cayman Island bowlers certainly didn't have any bite, and they continued to bowl short and giving the batsman that gift and that room to hit out of the park.
Well, they bowled some of everything. They bowled short, they bowled full, they bowled wide, and they bowled something in Barbados we used to call back in the day hitman.
Yes, I mean, and certainly they've not come with a plan. It didn't look like they've come to a plan to bowl to Grenada, and they didn't sit down to study the opponents they are playing.
Well, I was actually looking at the Cayman Islands. They're here for a good time, but are really definitely out of their depth. as far as this competition is concerned. The likes of Grenada, Barbados, and the likes are slightly out of their depth. But they're here for a good time. They're here to enjoy the tournament, and we welcome them to to our shores.
Well, I would believe for the first time in the tournament, Cayman Islands, and the experience of this year, that the next year competition, they would certainly want to step up to that
Well,
stage.
that is it. It can only do them well. But as you mentioned, Barbados are in a tricky position, finding themselves in a very tricky position now because we've got to await the result of the game being played at the BNOC today to see where Barbados will stand. That game would have featured the game at BNOC this afternoon, the afternoon game at BNOC. I think that result is going to be very interesting for the Barbadians with their 2 wins from 4 matches. But this game continuing, 109, just a couple of strikes away, the Grenada side, and totally been entertained by young Johan Jeremiah for the Grenada team at the top of the innings. Really taking matters into his own hands. 9 fours and 2 sixes he has struck so far in his 64. Gets a full toss and hoists it away out towards deep mid wicket. The ball coming off the bottom of the bat. The ball, that woody sound coming from the bat, suggesting that the shot had not been very well timed. He moves to 65. It's 110 now. So just 1 strike away from victory.
Well, yes, that game at the Barbados Oil Company, win British Virgin Islands versus Antigua and Barbuda, and Antigua yet to win a game in the competition.
So as the
The BVI.
So one of them would be getting off the mark this afternoon. So it wouldn't be exactly a problem for Barbados, come to think of it. Barbados with 2 wins will be looking at the likes of St. Vincent, who are really clearly the leaders now. Grenada are making themselves something of a team to watch. And the Trinidadians have also been fairly consistent. So Barbados looking for that 4th place in the semi-finals.
Oh, yes, they're looking for that. But I can tell you though, Wayne, the Trinidadians, they come with a different plan this year. They've never won a game in the competition. And this year they look like a totally complete different side.
So we're into this, the 12th over, delivery cut, and the return comes in. The batter losing his bat along the way, but easily making it into the crease with his feet and all. And 1 more now, 1 for 1, so 4 ones. Sean?
Well, you know, at this stage, David Shepherd will be standing on 1 foot in the umpiring international cricket, Wayne.
11.2 overs. Yes, we know that. Good old John Shepherd. As this one is hit it down to long on. Just a single, so still not able to complete the job, but making fairly light work of this modest target. The Grenada police, they now push themselves very much into contention for one of the places in the semi-finals. Sean, I would like to take another look at that schedule, because another very important game is going to be, as this one is struck into the boundary at long on, beating the man coming around to his right. Down to the boundary it goes. That's the final nail in the coffin of the Cayman Islands. It's all over here at Lears. Grenada recording a 3rd victory to be 116 for 1, winning by some 9 wickets over the Cayman Islands. At the end, Johan Jeremiah not out on 70 from 44 balls, 10 fours and 2 sixes. Sean Del Regis not out on 25 off 20 balls. He struck 2 sixes. The batsman dismissed Lyndon Lawrence for 5. And the Cayman Islands lose yet again. Servan Charles, 1 over for 16 runs. Paul Manning, 3 overs, 25 runs. Ravindra Prasad, the only wicket taker, 3 overs for 18 runs. Jamel Buchanan, 2 overs, 21 runs. Adrian Thomas, 1 over for 20, expensive. And Nkrumah Bonner, 1 over and 4 balls for 16 runs. That's all she wrote as far as this one was concerned. and the Grenadians in front from the beginning. And if it were a horse race, Gunsmoke, we would say the Grenadians making all the running, every pole a winning pole.
As they would say, no more turns in this race. And certainly, Grenadians coming up with a comfortable victory, educated batting, common sense cricket, and they really showed their worth here against the Cayman Islands. Jeremiah, he surely showed his ability to continue to bat, mix aggression with defense, and bring Grenada to another victory, man.
Well, Grenada with matches against the British Virgin Islands and Antigua and Barbuda are left to play, and will be favoring their chances of definitely heading into that semi-final, if not in first place, definitely in second place, where they will take on the third place team. And I think that is one of the features we will have to look out for as we go down to the tournament. But tomorrow's game between Antigua and Barbuda and Barbados is going to be a crucial one, and we'll be here to bring the coverage for you. So just to wrap up here in this second match after St. Vincent and the Grenadines defeated Barbados earlier today by 9 wickets in the first match, we see another one-sided affair between Grenada and the Cayman Islands. Grenada 116 for 1 in reply to 115 all-out made by the Cayman Islands after they were invited to bat. And that we hear the strains of the music in the background, and that is about a cue to tell us that we can get out of here, we can get ourselves prepared for tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock again. It has been a pleasure being part of the team, yourself, Gunsmoke, Andrew Mason, and Joel Manning, and we look forward to doing it all over again come tomorrow. So here's wishing all a very good night, Gunsmoke. Thank you.